Welcome students to today's video about how to analyze accounts receivables. Let's start by looking at what an account receivable actually is. In essence, a receivable is an uncollected sale. Thus, a company needs to manage this, as better collection of these uncollected sales means better management of receivables. Who actually analyzes accounts receivables? This usually includes any investor, creditor, manager, or party who is interested in how well a company manages its accounts receivables. In order to analyze accounts receivables, this requires information from 1. Statement of financial position, as known as the balance sheet, 2. Statement of profit and loss, and 3. Other comprehensive income statements. With the use of these financial statements, we first look at the receivables turnover ratio. This is a comparison of credit sales to receivables, measuring a company's ability to collect receivables. We use a formula which calculates credit sales divided by the average receivables, indicating how many times per set period a company generates and collects receivables. Next, we are able to calculate the days in receivables ratio. This is calculated by dividing 365 over the receivables turnover ratio, which expresses a company's ability to generate and turn over receivables in days. Finally, the allowance ratio compares the allowance account to gross accounts receivables, determining the percentage of receivables expected to be uncollectible in the future. The allowance ratio is stated as follows: allowance for doubtful debts divided by gross receivables, where gross accounts receivables is net accounts receivables plus the allowance for doubtful debts. An example is the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company for the year of 2017 has credit sales of $500,000 and their average receivables were $42,000. Therefore, the receivables turnover ratio is 11.9. We then calculate the days in turnover ratio as 365 days divided by 11.9, giving 30.6 days. Furthermore, the allowance ratio for Dunder Mifflin is calculated by dividing their allowance for doubtful debt expense of $10,000 over gross receivables, which is net receivables of $30,000 plus doubtful debt expense of $10,000. This gives the allowance ratio of $10,000 over $40,000 and a ratio of 0.25. In summary, the receivables turnover ratio compares a company's credit sales during a period to its average receivables balance. The days in turnover ratio divides into 365 days to express how long it takes the company to collect receivables. Finally, the allowance ratio compares the allowance account to gross accounts receivable to determine percentage receivables to be uncollectible. Thank you for watching this video on analyzing receivables.